Well, let's move to Durban, KwaZulu-Natal now, when insurance fraud syndicate have been nabbed by police there. Members of the fraud syndicate were allegedly due to cremate an unidentified body they had procured for 10,000 rand to help them lodge a 1 million rand claim. Well, our reporter, that's Ayanda Mshlongo, is on that developing story, and we chat to her now. Good afternoon, Ayanda. Always a pleasure to have you on the PM News Desk.
Good afternoon to you, Krishni.
Ayanda, a really elaborate corpse scam uncovered here. How did this syndicate operate?
Oh, elaborate indeed, Krishni. But basically what happened in this particular case is that we understand from police is that firstly an identity document was found, and the one members of the syndicate then went to an insurance company and took out a life insurance policy worth 1 million rand. We understand from police that 6 months later, this lady then went to the insurance company to lodge a claim. However, she was told by the insurance company that there needed to be there has to be a death certificate, of course, and then secondly, to try to ensure that that the insurance companies protect themselves. They now actually physically go out in some instances to funerals. So what this syndicate then needed was that they needed to obtain a body so that they could first obtain this death certificate, and then secondly so that they could then hold a funeral. The gang then colluded with a mortuary attendant, we get from police, working at the King Edward Hospital, and they managed to get a corpse for 20,000 rand. The police just updating that number figure for us, that they bought this corpse for 20,000 rand. They then, after that, staged a mock funeral. There they were anticipating that the insurance company would attend that funeral. So they held a mock funeral at a place called Sianda, just outside KwaMashu. Police then, in fact, it was members of the Hawks, then on information, managed to then arrest the syndicate before the body was going to be cremated there on that day.
Ayanda, mortuary records and logs under scrutiny now, one would expect?
Yes, well, absolutely. Krishni, you know what? We understand from police during this investigation that they spent, in fact, one entire day at the King Edward Hospital's mortuary going through records, just trying to trace this particular body, and in this case. And just in speaking to one of the officers, I can quote him directly, he said to me, Krishni, that it was an absolute mess. They found that the records had been tampered with. In fact, what they were trying to trace was that they were trying to see when the body was moved from the trauma unit to the hospital's mortuary and when that body left, and they found that the information that was written down did not match. He said that in fact that it was all an absolute mess. Speaking to health officials, of course, they did not deny this. All they have said to us is that they are now working very closely with police, and that internally they now are looking into this whole issue, looking into their records. Obviously, again, now from that, Krishna, the police are saying that they strongly suspect that this is not the only body that has been stolen from this mortuary. Also, aside from being stolen, Krishna, we understand from the police that the bodies are also loaned out to these syndicates. So a person inside the mortuary will loan out the body, and after they've done and been able to obtain a death certificate, they will then bring that body back and then will hand it over to the family. And during that time, a family would not know that their loved one is being loaned out and that the body is returned then back to the hospital's mortuary. So it's really, really shocking, in fact. And just speaking to the MEC, Sibongiseni Dlomo, on this particular matter, he expressed a shock, and he was very, very disappointed at this incident.
Ayanda Mshlongo on the line to us from Durban, KwaZulu-Natal. Thank you for your time on the PM News Desk.